In 2008, a global recession hit which was called the Great Recession. During that time period, companies were laying off employees as a result of not being able to pay them. Everyone was losing their homes and for not being able to pay off their mortgages. But for Hollywood, it was a different story. Writers, directors, and producers formed together to go on strike until they were paid. That caused some movies to have the worst reception of all time and the worst ratings on IMDb ever made. Some good movies were made during the writers' strike and were able to make money, and one movie in particular was the most successful in 2009. Alright, enough of that. Let's just get into it. So, Revenge of the Fallen. That happened for some reason. It was in development during the writer's strike, which I was probably talking about. It caused the movie to be one of the most controversial movies I've ever seen. It was juvenile, racist, and just plain stupid. There was no plot whatsoever. The movie just makes me frustrated that I want to punch Michael Bay in the mouth multiple times until he bleeds. There are just so many plot holes that are not explained at all, and the characters are just downright bad or extremely annoying. Alright, that's enough. Let's get straight into it. Okay, just hear me out, alright? It's okay to have a little bit of comedy in an action-packed movie. It sets the mood and tone for the film, just as long as it's not too sexual. But for this movie, the juvenile humor is just like South Park humor. It's like almost every scene has to have a lot of sex jokes that aren't even that funny, and it makes the movie more of a raunchy comedy than an action-packed movie. It's like Adam Sandler wrote this movie, or just got lazy and decided to make raunchy comedy. I couldn't find an even worse way to make your audience uncomfortable or grossed out. Like, bro, come on, this is just stupid. Do I really need to see John Turturro's butt or Leo have his pants all the way down in public, or see the dog butt sex or anything? Like, do I need to see that? Or do I need to see this? Or this? Or this? Like, come on, man. I'm trying to get lost in the story here. Are the writers that immature? Oh my gosh. I think the writers are that immature. Anyways, there are also some racial stereotypes that are meant to make you laugh, but they don't, because they are extremely racist. They always come out very offensive and just off color. Like, what are skids and mudflap even supposed to be? I don't even know anyways. I just can't. Bay, keep this up. You might get Will Smith in the face there, buddy.
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, the action sequences are pretty cool. I'm pretty sure these scenes might have given you guys a lot of adrenaline rush when you first saw this movie. The CGI, however, is well done. But for me, I couldn't tell on whatever was happening. Like, come on. There are so many explosions left and right that it was just chaos everywhere. Like, shoved in your face everywhere. Like at the beginning of the movie, I don't get that much time to process on what's happening. You know why I couldn't tell what was happening? Because I'm being bombarded with explosions and stuff. And sometimes the CGI meshes together with the action, which makes it even more difficult for me to know what's happening, because when it's dark, I still can't tell what's happening. Remember when I said that there's no plot for this movie? Yeah. Turns out there isn't. There are a lot of plot holes in the movie that I find a little hard to explain. In case you don't know, the new Decepticons are called the Fallen, and they came down to Earth to find this MacGuffin called the Matrix of Leadership, which they used to resurrect Megatron and use the other things to destroy the sun, and that's it. There's no explanation as to how the Fallen or how long the Matrix of Leadership has been on Earth. It's just evil robots are here to take over Earth without explanation. Yay! Like, come on! There's also some other stuff that has nothing to do with this movie. The subplot where Sam goes to college doesn't have anything to do with this movie. It just makes the movie completely lame and boring. Like,
every time we get a cool scene, we cut back to college. Every time we get an interesting scene with the humans, which we'll get to later, we cut back to college. You get the point. Also, Jetfire is in this movie, and then he dies. I don't know how long he's been on Earth, but I just don't care. I want to get this done already. Okay, the entire Bayverse franchise is so dedicated to having humans being the main team. It never turns out to be the Autobots having the spotlight for some weird reason. The humans always dump out exposition on us, and it's just too boring. It's always best to have the robots give us exposition because it makes the movie more interesting. Like in the first movie, for instance, it took a while for us to get to the Autobots, but hey, they came and they explained why they were here and all that stuff. Anyways, let's get to the real meat of this section. The humans are here to be funny, or as a matter of fact, they're here just to be extremely annoying at the same time. It's probably both, and they're just failing so hard. Every time I'm trying to invest myself in the story, some character always has to make a joke or some annoying noise, and it just doesn't land very well. It just pisses off a lot of people. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I would rather have the movie focus on the robots more than the humans. Otherwise, don't make an unwatchable 5-movie franchise about giant robots fighting other giant robots for a dying planet. Alright, this is completely unrelated, but I'm just gonna mention it anyways and be lazy. Sam goes to college for the first time. He meets his roommate, Leo, who isn't annoying at all. A few minutes later, his mom decides to get high on weed brownies or something like that, and starts acting like a cartoon for a minute and a half. This scene only lasts for 5 minutes, and I've been rambling about how bad this movie is for I don't know how long. Come on, make it end! What is this crap? Okay, enough of me having a breakdown. Let's just keep going. From what I've seen in these movies is that the Autobots have no personality whatsoever. They don't learn or develop from anything at all. They're just a bunch of robots that kill a lot of other robots brutally. I'm mostly talking about Optimus Prime, by the way. He kills everything that stands in his way and doesn't learn from anything. It's just very lazy and feels very underdeveloped. Like, I could learn more about how Prime could develop from all of his ways and change from who he is. And same thing with Bumblebee. I don't know if he has a personality, but I just don't care anymore. Okay, let me tell you something. The climax is extremely dumb. Here, let me tell you, they have to find this MacGuffin. Sam dies and gets brought back from the dead for some weird reason. Optimus Prime gets resurrected and takes Jetfire's parts and goes to the pyramid to destroy the beam that will destroy the sun. And that should have been the end of it. Well, guess what? It's not. The plans would have been foiled for the Decepticons and pissed off the Cybertron, but we got another long, nonsensical action sequence which sort of gave me a headache after watching it for some reason. Also, the Fallen dies in the most brutal way, and that's it. Nothing happens in this movie. There's no plot. What? Why is there a fan base? This is ridiculous, bro. Alright, I didn't explain everything in this movie, but I just want to get it out as soon as possible because I need to make the money. So, let's just go with the conclusion. In conclusion, this movie is a pile of dog crap. The plot holes are literally all over the place, and they're never explained. The movie has the worst writing in the world, which I don't know if it was written. Oh, wait a minute. I get it. They don't have a script. They never had a script. They never had a script for this crap. The juvenile humor is just too much and a little over the top, like frickin' South Park humor here. And it's just thrown in your face alongside with the racial stereotypes. The characters are just straight up annoying and just here to be funny, which they're not doing, by the way. Almost half the movie is taken up by Sam going to college and having the characters act very stupid. Since there is no plot for this film, the entire movie just meanders for 2.5 hours until we reach the end of the movie, which ends off with a song by Linkin Park. No offense to Linkin Park, their stuff's the bomb. Rest in peace, Chester Bennington. You're the man. The action scenes are just too much to handle that nobody can comprehend on what's even happening. Trying to figure out on what's happening in the fight scenes are just a little bit brain numbing, to be honest. The humans always get more screen time more than the robots, which leads to having scenes that have nothing to do with this movie. And this leads to more movies, which people keep giving Paramount money to make for literally no freaking reason. Even though these movies are trash, you people still pay to see these abysmal, nauseating movies. Why? Just why? For those of you who saw the first movie in 2007, this franchise is your fault. Paramount is finally hitting the reset button for this franchise and started making movies like Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast, which we'll get to very soon. Okay, maybe I'm being a little too harsh here. It's not Paramount's fault for Transformers 2 being completely crap. Some 2009 movies were made during the writer's strike, but they ended up getting good reception, making some money at the box office. I mean, hey, Avatar made the most money. It made $2 billion, baby! But that does not change the fact that this movie was just poorly made. Anyways, if you guys want to see me ramble about more crappy stuff, go subscribe to my channel. Anyways, I'm gonna just stop here for today. I'm done.